if you're anywhere in Australia and you can get your hands on this little beauty, I suggest it very highly. Very nice little craft beer from a local distributor here, Mowing Brewing Co. That will not be clear on the GoPro, but in at Port Macquarie, little local brewery, bloody beautiful. Goes well in the Skag cooler as well. Got a big clean one up here. Just getting the use out of this one. How are we all going? Oh, look at that. Bloody goodness. So, I want to take you all on a little thought process of what actually happens when you're on holidays. And it, don't want to say what I'm thinking there, but anyway, it's mother's milk is what I was thinking. It's all right, let's get on to the video here. I've had a few already. Anyway, this car, this is the thought process. Everything, as well as myself, becoming rejuvenated, refreshed. Everything gets a renewal. That includes the inside, outside of everything. So every bit of material that I use for the business, every bit of equipment, everything gets maintained and absolutely serviced as thoroughly as I sort of know how. So blade changes, oil changes if required, air filters done, everything and anything that you can think of on your machines. Pressure cleaning, obviously. It's just everything needs doing. So I want to prep myself ready for the next season of what I'm about to go through. So it's going to involve, there's cracks on, see if you can see that up there, just on the outside casing. So luckily I've got the older model, it'll suit. I'll just swap that over. I'll get that one good because that's the better, newer version. And I'll get all that ready to go, rocking and rolling. Everything here is pretty much good to go. They're just all backups. And then as far as these go, change of blades, pressure cleaning, obviously, everything sort of fixed up. Cannot see out this window, but we've had about 50-kilometre winds, guys, like crazy amount of sticks and debris, leaves and everything falling. It's making for an interesting time when I do go back to work. There's going to be a lot of people wishing that I wasn't on my break already. I'm not going to be surprised within this 2 weeks if someone messages me and said, oh, can you come out and clean up the place, because there's a lot of high-end acreage clientele that we look after, and I'm honestly not going to be surprised if that's the case. They have done in the past, and that's the thing. When you're on holidays, it's just got to be set in stone. And the thing is, you run the risk, obviously, of upsetting people, but you do that each and every time, even at Christmas time. So the thought process for me is I've got to look after myself, and sort of like, obviously I want to talk about health, and not really the best indication when I'm drinking a beer, but it's you've got to look after yourself, and this is the time to wind down. Typically, I don't normally make these videos while I'm off. It was just a rule I had, but now there's too much value in this side of it that people don't see. They just see the pretty stuff, they see the work getting done, they see the lawn mowing and the exciting new equipment and all the good goodies that just doesn't really reflect everything that you're going through in your own mind. It needs to be sort of spoken about a bit more often, because I can't switch it off myself. I may be on holidays right now, but this is the first day of 16, and I'm already thinking, what's the next thing? I'm already thinking, who can I fit in? Who can I add to the business? What, do you know what I mean? There's so many different facets of the business that you're thinking about constantly. When your head hits the pillow at night, it just does not switch off. So you try and do your best, and I have done in the past financially for people, to have them stick around. It just isn't for them. For whatever reason, one reason or another, it just doesn't seem to eventuate. And obviously I will be looking for people in the future. There's probably 8 I've got to get in contact with. and seriously sit down, and I'll just go through that list in order of who I think is best suited and is going to be long term, because that's what it needs to be for me now. So that's the main thought process for me, because at the end of the day, you can be an owner operator and it's flexible, it's good. The money and profit margins are arguably better until you get to a level that you've got enough employees to then outweigh the owner-operator side of it, the pluses and minuses that come with that. So when you weigh all that up, it really makes sense for me in my position, in what I want out of life, and that's to be as much of a family man that I can be. I need to have this ran systematically, efficiently, productively. Everything that I know it can be, it needs to happen. There's a lot of different methods for that. There's going to be more battery gear in the future because the technology is just going to outweigh these little petrol machines over there. So when you weigh it all up, guys, it's really, it's your business at the end of the day. I can't sort of tell you how to run it. I'm just saying this is my journey, and if you're happy to come along for the ride, then I'll explain and do my best to relay everything that I learn through this means and method. It's not just going to be YouTube. There's another platform called Rumble that no one knows about, really. It's more for the similar to crypto, decentralized movement that's happening. It's another means to get away from the YouTube censorship that does happen and does occur. So it's something that I'm definitely branching out into, and updating my computers and updating laptops, every bit of software that I can, getting the GoPro obviously rather than the other stuff. They're good and will have their place for, I can put them in risky situations, and the $100 cameras, I'm not going to worry about them as much as the sort of 600 plus GoPros. So that's all benefit for you guys as far as me trying to get the content out in the best platform and quality that I can. Obviously, I'll invest more time and money in that if I'm ever able to get any kickbacks from this, because again, it's another means, another method to earn some dollars in this life. It's you've got to have multiple sources coming in. If you're just relying solely on your business, if you go down, you're gone. That's it, you're done. If you've got no contingencies set up in place for your family, that's it. And that's the idea of having employees for me. Having a business, having a franchise, whatever the options is and are, it's that's the main reason for it, because once that day comes where I can no longer provide and physically do this type of work, that's where the other side, other business will come into it as well. It'll be less labour intensive, with a more upside potential than even this has. And this has, like I've spoken about before, the 150,000 net profit is just a portion of what this is capable of doing, and businesses have proven that in this field. The green industry is one of the highest yielding, fastest growing industry in the world right now, if I am not mistaken. It is a simple but yet profitable and very fulfilling industry to be in. And if you love lawns, there's so much to learn. You'll never ever be able to keep up with what you need to learn for the new technologies coming through. It's not just happening in software, it's happening for grass types. It's happening for different varieties that they're making more drought tolerant, better for cold temperatures, everything. They are just modifying anything and everything they can, and you got to keep up to those latest and greatest technologies that are out there in every facet. It's no different to these. It's trialing and error. Like, that's all it is, trial and error. MZ was something that was just a bargain for me as far as the dealer had it. Cheapest chips to get, it was like $4,000 second hand, and it was one owner, had 200 hours on it. It was pretty much brand new. Even though it was sort of that 4 years old, it really, compared to what I'd put it through, I've already done 200 hours and I've barely had it for a year, you know what I mean? Like, it's, and that, again, people are gonna see that and go, it's not much at all. But for me, it's still a lot of push mowing, obviously, and the actual mowing time on acreages, even compared to edging, like, the mowing is the quicker side of it. So when you weigh it up, like, it's still, I've taken that through some really rough terrain, And that's why I always come back to comparing. These things have gone down, whereas this has not stopped. It's a major thing for me. It says a lot about the brand, and they really got this one right. They've still got a few tweaks and perks, little things that they've got to fix up on this. Because again, like I just said, that there are perks to this. The compact size, I've spoken about it many times, guys. I don't need to go into depth in this video, but you're not going to see it purely here. But it's less than even that V-Ride. The V-Ride at the nose, at the front, you can see it at the front here. Really, when you get an overhead view, just how long this front end is of this 36 inch, the way it sort of comes out, juts out, it's surprisingly long. Therefore, I can't even get two of these things on this trailer, yet I can get that and that on in a pinch, you know what I mean? So, great for the compactness. So far, the quality of control on the hydraulics, and as well as everything about the cut quality of that deck, and this isn't even the top of the line deck. There's a lot of things that I've spoken about, and if you haven't caught that video, it's like the back edge of this scallops around. You're not going to see anything there but it sort of does a little curve at the back here, and it gets real narrow in the guts and then fans out before it ejects. And in the guts there, that middle driving blade really gets affected, gets clogged, gets jammed, and then same deal on this very edge here where I've grinded out this section to make this opening a bit bigger. And even there you can see that little kick where it's flung debris and everything out and just hit this metal. Nice little splinter there for myself. And yeah, so all this, guys, thought process for me, this is what I mean. This is just taking you through my mind as far as a business operator goes. There's so much always happening in the background, behind the scenes, that you do not see. And people tend to not put it out there because it's not flashy, it's not fun, but this is where the thinking takes place. I've been inside majority of today simply due to the weather. I'll take you out in a second just to show you this wind and debris. I'll be mowing that Monday. It's meant to die down. So again, that Willy Weather app, get onto that if you're not onto it. Check out the wind forecast, especially on there. They're really good because it's typically designed for fishermen, that app, and it's really good for the wind. And that's what is, of late, a major issue. You don't want to be mowing and then looking out and having debris everywhere. So this time of year you can afford to let it go that little bit longer because it's not going to take too much to get it down. But I'll be sharpening all the blades up, getting it sorted, making sure fresh blades, get these ones ready to go. Charge the battery up on this. If you watched the last video, I explained that this went dead. Got a little battery charger for that, hooked it up over there on the power board there, and it seemed to be holding charge fine, started up fine. So definitely just a battery issue. Now the accessories have been left on in the past, and whether that's just slowly drawn on that battery, and eventually it just decided it didn't want to turn over, kick on, kick over. It's something that is, you got to be mindful of that. I'm trying to get across. At least this is easy access for this battery here. Husky's right tucked in away behind that little cushion there, and you've got to undo a little lever to get the bracket off and get in behind there. But it's plenty to come as far as while I'm on holidays, but at the same time I've really got to take this time to get sorted about what this next move is, because there can be a lot of potential for this handyman side of it especially. There's carpenters asking for jobs, there's painters asking for jobs, and I do get a lot of that work. Pressure cleaning works. I've got a lot of options with that as far as actual work goes, but the gear would be nice to have a step up from what I've got there. And that's where I'm at. I'm just trying to nut down, sort of narrow down my focus and get it to a profitable stage, enjoyable stage, and then have it so there's little sections, factions of the business that people can just come in and slot in straight away. You look after this side of it, you look after this side of it, I'll run this, and then I can have that other business going because it's in conjunction with a lot of this. That'll be coming in the future, I 100% guarantee that. And I'll say more on it once I've committed and signed the dotted line, because I do enjoy the maintenance side of things. I know I'm smart enough to do it. It's just getting focused and having that ability to limit your overheads, which is this place here that we're staying is a major overhead at the moment, but this business can afford to do it. It's when you're trying to go that next stage, whether that be getting another rental or taking another step with a business, that it becomes a bit of an issue. And that's just where I'm at right now. It might not be the same for people out there, but same deal. My wife has a lot of ventures that she's started and they're all starting to take off. I really want to be here for her and the kids as much as I can, as well as do all of this. So it's not just about capitalism, you know what I mean? It's not just about making that dollar. There's a lot of other things that go in behind it and reasons as to why. And everyone's got different reasons, and that's what's great about watching these YouTube channels, because some people are more motivated in one way, other people the other, and it's all about finding your balance and what works for you and your family. So anyway, I think that'll do, and I'll get some more footage out to you guys as soon as possible. But yeah, it's more just maintaining everything: chainsaws, multi-tools, snippers, the mowers, the pressure cleaners, the absolute lot, guys. Polishing everything up, especially this type of stuff. Getting pressures right in the tyres, making sure everything's pretty, all tidied up, getting seat covers put in there on that ute there, and just everything. Making it as professional as you can, and obviously don't turn up with beer in your hand and you don't have a few before you start doing a YouTube channel, but it's that's where I'm getting at. It's really there's so many ways you can go about it, and I talk about it all the time, but I don't want to be here pretending like I know it all. I don't ever want to come across that way, but what I do know, I do know. What I don't. Makes sense, right? It's people that pretend, and you can see through it. You watch a lot of YouTube, you start to see it, and it's about being that sort of genuine, authentic. This is real time, you know. This is actually happening right now. You pretty much see one of my videos, it's been recorded that day. There's no fluff, there's no smoke screen. It is real, it is what it is. And I really do appreciate all of the support I get through this means, as well as Facebook and Instagram, and just people in general, clients, people on the street that come up and just randomly say, like, you do a quality job, I can't believe. They've never seen anything like this, you know. And it's a lot of it's just humble feelings that come through, and you're just very grateful for being alive in this day and age, even with everything going on right now. So just be appreciative, guys, and be kind always, and support one another in this, because we're all in it together at the end of the day, and different viewpoints, different opinions and everything, it all matters, and it's all going to help us go to that next level, because we need to step up in every facet: business, life, everything. This can be a lot better. Whether we figure it out in time or not, that's another story, so we'll wait and see. Getting a bit deep there at the end, then, wasn't I? Anyway, catch us. Bye-bye. Cheers.